Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So we were talking about the threats in the network. There are various kind of threats we can face in the networks. The most popular are as follows. First, we see the eavesdropping, wiretapping, communication media threats, and impersonation, spoofing, session hijacking, which includes TCP session. Web servers sometimes have client store cookies, reply back attacks, and we have a session hijacking in more detail, okay, and traffic analysis. Okay, so these were some of the threats, okay, which we will discuss one by one quickly. What's eavesdropping? So eavesdropping is just like to listen to some conversation without the consent of the people. Okay, for example, if two people are talking with each other and then you're listening to someone, so that kind without their consent, without their permission, that's called eavesdropping. Similarly, in a computer, if two computers are interacting with each other and then you trap something, or you just like listen their packets by some tools or by some techniques, so that kind of threat is known as eavesdropping. So overhearing without expending an extra effort. What's the wiretapping? Wiretapping is a little bit more advanced than the eavesdropping. So that's called intercepting communication through some effort. Okay, in that you need some more effort for wiretapping. You need to connect some wires or through wireless, okay, and listen to the communication between the two parties. Passive is just like wiretapping means just listening, not reacting to it, not adding or removing something from the conversation. Active means like injecting something in the communication. You add something from your side in the packet, or you delete something in the packet. That is called active wiretapping. Now we come to have some discuss some communication media's problems. What before discussing the problem, we need to see what are the different communication media. Is how the messages transfer from one computer to another computer. We have a cables, we have a fiber optic, and then in this thing we have a in cable and fiber optic we can have a port mirroring and network tape. And apart from that one, we have Wi-Fi, means easily done, means the communication is easily done with the Wi-Fi, and but Wi-Fi has many security loopholes and people are exploiting it, and even the students, the kids, they can easily crack the Wi-Fi passwords. Can be done from kilometers away using the directed antennas. Yes, Wi-Fi works even with the walls in between two rooms. It works. Yeah, physical barriers are not helping. Is there is no problem for the physical barriers like a wall or something, anything between the Wi-Fi and the device. On the right hand side you can see some network tab. Okay, the most important thing over here is the structure. If you see over here, there is just like if you see this computer, especially this one, it's a monitoring computer. This monitors the communications, okay, with the switch, okay, and between all these computers. And here the monitoring computer is here. This is a kind of a star topology and this is a bus topology. So how we see that, how the monitoring is done in the bus kind of topology and in the star kind of topology. Okay, you can see over here we have a computers connected, we have a servers, and then we have firewalls. Okay, so if you see over here, this area is more secure one, and the internet is the least secure area. Why? Because everyone is there. It is just like a bazaar. Okay, so in the internet is just like a bazaar. Everyone is there, and this network, this LAN is your just like a home. So it means it's a more secure area. Firewall is just like a gatekeeper, and it stops some people to come inside the home, or it allows some people to come inside the home. Or means when I say home, so it means your LAN, local area network. So firewall is just like a security guard. It helps you. It allows some of the traffic to come in the LAN and disallow or just block some of the traffic. So there is a monitoring computer. It is just for testing. Okay. So here it is after the firewall. Okay. Now we can go to the next slide. It's about the impersonation. What is impersonation? Impersonation means that, for example, I am Dr. Maksud. So when if you're talking to me on the phone, if I tell you no, I am not Dr. Maksud, I am Dr. Atik. So it means I am personating. I am just like it is causing you in that case. So it means that if any person uh, who is hiding himself, that is called impersonation. So in the computer terminology, if we look this word, so impersonating a person by stealing his or her password, or in the computer, say if we say that if we get the username password of someone and then we log in on the behalf of other people, then that's called impersonation. For example, if one student gets the username and password from another student and then he log in, or he send email on his behalf, or he sends, or he submit the assignment on other behalf, that's called impersonation. Or we can call it as a guessing attack. Exploit default password that have not been changed. Okay, sometime impersonation can be done by default password, just like, for example, you sometime the ID number can be your password, your date of birth can be your password, or any name. So by this way you can easily done the impersonation. Spoofing is another kind of serious problem. Okay, spoofing is just like, for example, if you have a university address like iau.edu.sa, instead of iau I put double iau.edu.sa. Okay, so you will think that the iiau is a legitimate website, although it will not be a legitimate one. And then you do all the registration and all these things. Next day you come to the college and you ask your teacher, I have registered this course. Your teacher tells you, no, you did not register the course. Then you show that I registered the course on this website. Then your teacher says, look, spelling is wrong, IIAU, this is a wrong website, this is a hacker's website, you register on the hacker website. So it means that, so you should be careful with the spellings. So there are different kind of spoofing. The spoofing objects can be node, can be a person, URL, web page, email, Wi-Fi access point, etc. Masquerades as another one. Okay, so masquerades are just like a kind of an attackers. URL spoofing, yes, we have URL spoofing, as I told you, like King Saud University, www.ksu.edu.sa. Instead of KSU, I put ksw.com.sa. So this is the wrong website. PayPal, PAYPAL, but instead of PAYPAL, you put PAYPA1.com to mislead the people. Now we come to the session hijacking. Session hijacking is another important kind of threats. Here in the session hijacking, it works on in the session layer, in the transportation layer and session layer. What you do, that two people or two computers are, computer A and computer B are communicating. Okay, and inside then you intercept their communication. Okay, and instead of replying, computer A replies to B. What you do, the man in the middle, he replies to computer A, and similarly he also replies to server B. So by this way, the computer A does not know that it is a man in the middle. Okay, and computer and server B also doesn't know that it is a man in the middle, some attacker, a hacker inside it. So the TCP protocol sets up the state and the sender and the receiver end, and uses the state while exchanging the packets using the sequence number for detecting lost packets. The sequence number is very important for the session communication. Attackers can hijack such session and masquerade as one of the endpoints. Now we come to the second point. Web servers sometimes have clients store cookies to re-identify clients for future visits. Attackers can sniff or steal cookies and masquerade as a client. What is a cookie? Cookie is used for performance of a browser, or performance of the web communication. Okay, but the cookies sometimes store the information of cookies sometimes essential data, like for example your username and password, because sometimes you don't want to give the username and password again and again, but you store in a cookies. Okay, what the hackers do, the hackers don't take your password file, it goes to the cookies, copy your cookies, okay, and then analyze the cookies. Inside the cookies they can find your important data, they can find the username and password, and then can hack you. Replay attack. What is a replay attack? Attacker captures data and resend it to the later time. It means that it captures the data, keep it for some time, and then when he sees some appropriate time, it launches the attack. Okay, so man in the middle, if you continue the same topic, so man in the middle attacks are similar. Attackers become stealth intermediate node and not the end node. Okay, so he is in the man in the middle. You can see over here user 1, user 2, and this is the man in the middle. And this is the key distributor server, means it distributes the private key and public key to the user 1, and also the public and private key to the user 2, as we studied in chapter number 2, in the module number 2. It usually participates from the start of the session. Okay, yeah, okay, so it is in the start of the session. Next one is the traffic analysis. So you in the traffic analysis you will have different kinds of communications in various computers. For example, if you have 100 computers, so you can analyze the traffic from the 100 computers and see what is your what is your most important communication going on. This slide, it will tell you about Wall of Sheep DEF CON 2007 website. Okay, this website helps the journal people, not the hackers. It works like a hackers, but they are not meant for hacking. It tells the people that whose password and whose password are weak. Okay, they crack your password and then tell you that please update your password, because your password has already been hacked. Since we are not hackers, but we are helping you to strengthen your computers and to strengthen your organization. So sometimes they post all the usernames and passwords through in which the usernames are very weak and they have been easily compromised. So this website helps. You can Google it and you can see the different characteristics of Wall of Sheep. Okay, so here we have threats in the network. What are the other threats we have? This important threat is the denial of service. This is called DOS. Denial of service means that when most of the traffic is coming to a single computer, that is called a denial of a service, and it could not handle it properly. So in this case, I give you example of your registration. Sometime when you are doing registration in your in a university, so for example, if 10,000 students or more than 10,000 students they are applying simultaneously on the registration, so usually the registration server goes down. Why? Because it cannot handle a lot of traffic at the same time. But in usual days in the semester, the registration website is not down. Why? Because maybe the number of registration is lesser or none. Okay, but in the first 2 weeks, okay, there is a high load of registration on the website. So it can be a legitimate denial of service, just like because legal user, but sometimes it can be a dummy user or illegal user as well to launch an attack. So we have a cutting wire of jamming wireless signals, flooding a node by overloading its network connection or processing capacity. Ping flood. Ping is one of the tools that you can use for launching this attack. I will show you this this tool, how you can launch it. If you see over here, if you click on this one, CMD, okay, and then for example, if I ping my own computer 127.0.0.1, you will see there is a reply coming in. So it means I am connected to myself. Now if I want to connect some other computer, just like if I don't know the IP address, but I say 192.168.0.0.1, suppose it's a dummy one. So if it is communicating with it, so it means it will show you the results, but it shows you request timeout. So it means that I am not connected to this computer. This is the ping request. So if you send many pings, okay, more than 1,000 pings, then it will be a DOS attack. So we will continue in the next video. Thanks for now.